What is up, guys? Welcome back to Run My Crypto. What a crazy introduction, right? So you guys are probably thinking like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Well, I don't know. I've been doing some research and I'm thinking there's a lot of momentum coming in with Jasmy, and there's tons and tons of community building for Jasmy. So I'm personally like, I need to start digging a little bit deeper, and I came to the understanding that I see a hidden agenda behind Sony utilizing Jasmy, and for them it's just a massive amount of utility that's poured into Jasmy. And not only that, I see that Sony is getting patents behind their gaming behind Jasmy. And then I'm starting to think about you know what, let's just get into this video, guys. But before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that bell notification, and if you want to, please subscribe. But like guys. Let's get these videos out there, build Jasmy community all the way to that $4 mark. But you know, we still got a ways to go, guys, but we will hit that $1 mark for sure. I'm banking on that, and so is about 100 other content providers that are bringing the news of Jasmy. But I wanted to get into some different type of situation for you guys. I wanted to blow your minds a little bit and make you think a little bit differently about Jasmy and the project. So leave your comments. I know I'm gonna expect some crazy, good comments, bad comments, whatever it is. Drop them, because I want to know what you guys think about it. All right, guys, let's get into this video. All right, so my first view on this is that Sony is kind of like patenting stuff behind Jasmy, and I started thinking about, okay, well, I'm gonna go from the top. So I started thinking about who's actually behind Jasmy, right? So all the developers and all the devs are like major Sony players, right? So in my mind, I'm like, well, why wouldn't they just do like a Sony token, right? However, I get it though. So if you start to see, between the lines, you read between the lines a little bit, you start to understand that you see Jasmy focusing in on Web3. You see Jasmy focusing in on the Internet of Things. Then they came out with the BIOS computers, and then the software, and then we start to see the secure PC start to translate into English. But what I'm thinking behind the scenes is that, Sony has, I'm not going to say bad blood, but, I think Sony's on a mission with being a representation of Japan to kind of build an empire, right? So it's kind of like divide and conquer, right? So you see all this spreading, all this adoption coming from Jasmy, right? And it's being created as a facade, right? Because you see originally Binance was getting ready to pull them off the market, but on the flip side, to me it was a power play, because ever since they kind of put that type of pressure on them, or was it pressure? I don't know. There's just so much conspiracy, but the way I see it is it was all already in place, right? So it was a move to be able to have an outlet to push Jasmy as hard as possible. And the timing of it was impeccable, guys, because the timing, if this would have happened, pre or post bull run, and kind of wouldn't have never picked up momentum, but where it happened is like right on the cusp of the next bull run. So everybody's gonna have Jasmy on their mind. It was a power play. They're gonna have Jasmy on their mind because so many videos are coming out with Jasmy, so much adoption. And not only that, like, they're figuring out, well, all of our supply is almost gone, what do? Well, you have Binance, who received almost 30% of that, who I believe is going to prepare with a correlation of the Q4 lockup, right? So you got to see that, right? You got to understand that you have the Q4 lockup. So why would you lock up a certain amount of tokens knowing that your supply is already limited to less than about 3% or so? With the understanding, if I was a company, with the understanding that Binance has 30-some%, right? So get to understanding, what are we going to do here, guys? We're going to lock these tokens up. So this is kind of like a temporary burn to raise the price, is basically the way I see it. So they're going to temporarily lock up a certain amount of tokens, right? Then you have Binance that's going to go ahead and dump on the market, right? And as these are dumping, big institutions are going to pick them up. Tons of retail investors are going to FOMO into it. So that's going to actually, so if we look at it step by step, okay, Jasmy is at a super low price. You lock up these tokens, that's going to hold that price and cut out the supply. And what I believe is going to happen is you're going to have Binance dump probably anywhere from probably about 15% or 20% on the market, which those will be purchased up, and that's going to skyrocket the price because the amount of volume that's going to be driven into that market cap. Now, how is the only gap that I see is like, what's that market cap going to look like when this takes effect? And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if I was a businessman in a cryptocurrency world, that would be checkmate, guys. That's like the best power play you can have, right? Now, can I validate that? No, I can't. But after tons and tons of just thinking and just kind of getting an understanding, like I started asking myself, why Sony? Why Jasmy? Why Jasmy Chain? Why Binance has a specific set amount, which is pretty large? What does a Q4 lockup have to do with that? And understanding like why our total supply is like 3% left. And then it all just kind of hit me. And if I was a business doing something like that, I would say that would be the way to drive my price up high. So if this is a working situation per se, I would think that the supply after the lockup would give us a certain amount of market cap, and the price of dumping is going to be into play with actually the price of investors getting in and retail investors building that up. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, guys. All right. So the next line of business that I want to jump into is the Jasmy chain. Now, building a layer 2 on Ethereum is a good move. I believe that this is going to open the doors for Jasmy to be able to expand their project. And now how that's going to work is that they'll be able to build an extension for Jasmy and whatever else they have up their sleeve, because I don't think the information is over. I think that they're going to have some bigger things coming out, especially with Web3, the blockchain, and just being able to put Jasmy in a position to dominate the market, especially in Web3 and security. Now, personal data, I'm sorry, not security, but personal data, right? So how do you think that Jasmy can expand personal data as us being able to have control of that, and instead of consumers giving away their data for free and big companies like Instagram, Facebook and all that, Meta, they use your information to market it, whatever, for whatever reason. But what Jasmy is doing is simply taking that power, giving it back to us, and being able for us to monetize off of that. So if I'm going to give away my personal information for free, like we do now, using the Web 2, Web 3 is going to give us that power back. So if we want to share our information, we're going to get paid for it. And that is important, especially with the way with Web 3 is. I mean, if you guys understand that the integration with Web 3 is, and how valuable that resource is for new entrepreneurs, for technology entrepreneurs, and of course I'm going to drive this conversation into AI, right? Artificial intelligence. This is huge. I mean, there's no ands, if, or buts about it. This is going to be the next big thing, is AI, because the amount of adoption that came out, as soon as ChatGPT came out, it was over. You know, who's behind this? You know, I'm just leave it at that. But AI is going to start integrating a lot more and more. I mean, they're using it in Japan and China, and a lot of, I'm sure Dubai, India are using AI big time, because what we're headed into is the future, right? So if you guys remember the Jetsons and everything's all futuristic, maybe you guys are too young. I don't know. Some of you older people like myself would know what that is. But if we started seeing these movies come out that have a lot of technology, I mean, that's the road that we're headed into with AI. And I believe Jasmy and Sony, I think Sony wants to powerhouse AI technology because they've been on the forefront of technology since the beginning. Sony has always been super popular until we came out with Bose and all these other companies that's just started shutting it down. While, again, not saying it's bad blood, but Sony has something to prove. So why else, or what other avenue would you take, knowing that cryptocurrency is going to be a huge thing? That's why I always believe that it's not going to go away, because they knew ahead of time that crypto is going to be pretty big. So they're power playing into that technology, and that's what actually sustains me to understand that crypto is not going nowhere. Web3 is coming out. The future is changing. Jasmy is at the forefront behind Sony backing it, and that's where I got my understanding of, is Jasmy a stealth project for Sony? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I crazy? Am I skeptical? Whatever the case may be, just let me know, guys, in the comments. I appreciate it. I could take criticism, constructive criticism. I'm all about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys got something out of it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Run My Crypto. I'm gonna keep going and keep pushing Jasmy to the moon, baby, because we're going. The engines are fired up. The thrusters are popping off. It's fueled up. We're ready to go. So it's all a matter of time, guys. Be patient. Believe in what you're investing in, because that's super important. And make sure you guys don't give up. Just keep going. All right, guys. Take care. Be blessed.